welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Great to see you. I don't even know which side I'm on now. Hope you're all well on this Wednesday night. First day at work. Usual stuff, long day, tired. A bit of stuff happening around the world. Obviously, I haven't done anything exciting since I was last lecture because I went to bed early last night. It's one of the only nights I probably go to bed early because I've got to get up at 20 to 4 every Wednesday morning, or every second Wednesday or whatever it is. So it's not a lot happening in my world in regards to the day, but a little bit happening around the world. So I've got a bit I'm going to get through and we'll go from there. How's that sound? Sweet. Hope you're all well out there, podcast world, YouTube land, wherever you're catching up with me. I do appreciate it again. If you haven't gone and checked out the new website also, do go check that out. And if you can, give us some feedback. Either flick us an email or chuck us a note or something in the comments of the YouTube. That's fine. I think that'll work. Should work well. Turn it down just a touch more. This one. Long way. Righto. Now, if you hadn't already noticed, Mac yet again, just another drop last night. Apple, sorry, not Mac, or it was a Mac, but Apple. Last night they basically upgraded the iMac options for you. Now, it looks to me very much, I guess, like my 16-inch MacBook was. It was a spec upgrade, which is pretty much what mine was. Mine was pretty much the same, and then all they did was upgrade the graphics card. Well, this has got a few more little features to it, but I'm going to run through them. I'll go through the specs and we'll talk about little bits and pieces on what I think about it. New items. It's got a matte screen. So if you've seen the Mac Pro, that XDR screen, the $6,000 screen display that they have for that goes on the $1,000 stand. So you should remember that stand at least. Probably more so than the actual display, that beautiful XDR display. Well, that's got a matte screen like that, so it drops reflections and all that sort of stuff. Really good if you're working with photos and lights in the background, a lot of lighting in your room, a lot easier to work with. So it look pretty good in that regards. That's pretty cool. Now, finally, in Apple, 1080p for the camera up the top. Even mine, and the update one to the 16-inch was a 720. Finally. I mean, it doesn't mean a lot, but just 1080 is all we want. If you're going to do a call, 1080 makes a massive difference over 720. Look, that's going to be a big difference. Hopefully that will flow on into all other categories and laptops and stuff down the track. So they've finally done that, which is good. So that was pretty cool. You've got the 8 terabyte option that you had with this sucker now as an option in the Mac Pro. You got the 10 core Intel 10th generation top of the range i9. So you got a 10 core monster in there that you can go up to. You can do 128 gigs of RAM in it. So that's pretty insane. It's a 5K screen, which was similar to the last. It's got 5700 XT, 16 gigabytes max for the memory, or memory for the card, for the graphics card. Now it's not showing much of the back cover, so I'm pretty sure it's still in the basically exactly the same format. Where there was a lot of mention that it was just going to go thin bezel, basically like a big iPad version. That was not. It's still got that curved screen, which is is good for some things, good for. And not so good means that I think it's just a spec bump mid-range to sell out the rest of their stock to get rid of them, which is not a bad move in readiness for a whole brand new model coming probably early next year with ARM chips or whatever. So the good thing about this is it looks like the boys at Max Tech were saying, it looks like that you can go in and put your own RAM so you can save a bit of money, because this thing is going to cost you. Base price for the 57, I didn't even worry about the 21-inch. That's the only difference with that is you got SSD now instead of the old hybrid hard drive. So that's not even really worth talking about. So that 27-inch, that's the one. Now that starts at $2,800 at your base model, which is, it's still not a bad computer. It's okay, but for everything that's new, you really got to go up a bit. So if you spec it out to the full Wahoozy, so 8 TB, so you won't need a backup. You won't need a second drive. You can just have a backup drive if you really want something. It's going to cost you 14 grand. So that's 128 gig. The top of the range cards, the 10 core, 5 gigahertz, the whole work shebang, $14,000. Now you can upgrade the memory yourself, so you can probably save a couple of grand there. So there's might bring it back down closer to the 10 grand mark, 10, 11, but it's still around that big dollar budget mark. So look, if you're looking for something and you've been waiting for an upgrade, look, you're going to get a great computer for that. But be aware from what these ARM processors are achieving and what the talks and the rumours and everything, it might be worth holding on just for another 12 months just to see how good they really are, because they're going to have to go into it. I think that's when once they go smaller there, they might be able to less heat, so they can shrink that bezel right down and maybe go either an OLED screen or a mini LED or micro LED, which is what should be coming in the next Mac. So that's why I still think this one is only a spec bump just to get rid of old stock. What stock they've got, bodies and chassis they got left. Let's get rid of that models now. Let's put all this awesome stuff into it. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. But I think the real big changes are going to be 2021. We should see something new, and maybe it's going to be that new screen, that real thin bezel iPad looking mini LED or even micro LED knowing Apple. You never know what's coming, but I think you'll definitely see the ARM chips next year and maybe a new screen to match that would reduce the power massively, give them a heap more options, a heap more fun things form factor wise to play with. So yeah, look, pretty cool. Obviously why they didn't do it a big announcement, because it's only just a mid what do you call it, a midlife upgrade, and that's pretty much all it is. But pretty darn cool anyway. Some good stuff in there if you are desperate for something for work. Great one to go in and really get a heap of power in it and not have to go up to that Pro, which is probably 15, 16, 17, 18 grand sort of mark. So you could probably get similar specs to the old Pro, but save a few $1,000, which is not a bad option. Now, while on Apple, over the weekend, they become the world's most valuable company. Overtook the Saudi Aramco, I think it's Aramco, their petro business, and it's now valued at roughly $1.84 trillion. So that's $1,840,000 billion. Insanity. Now, there was a thing out last week, I think boys at Lou Later were talking about, they had $200 billion in cash. $200 billion just sitting there. That's insane, isn't it? Have so much money just sitting in the bank with a business, with so many poor and so many things. Yeah, it's just sort of, it's hard to fathom those sort of numbers. And then when you look, well, realistically, it's probably 1/8 of what their company's valued at. So I guess it's not a bad idea to have a bit of cash flow comparative to what your business is valued at. But 1.84, $1,840 billion in value. That's an insane number to myself, and I'm sure to a lot of people. It's hard to fathom just a private company being worth that much money. So, and it's just a computer company. It's not like an oil company. An oil company, it's a resource that you need. Computers aren't a necessity. They're, they're a thing we like, and they help us. It's a tool. It's not a requirement to live by, I guess. Nowadays it is, I guess. You have to have one to do anything nowadays. But, yeah, if you understand what I mean. It's not food or water or something we're going to die without. We could all easily go, well, not easily, we could all go back to the Stone Age and still be alive. I think that works out a bit right. So anyway, Gordan Murray Racing. If you haven't heard of Gordan Murray, F1 genius, Was with McLaren for so many years, took them to a lot of success with their Formula One team. Developed and designed the original McLaren F1, one of the most amazing cars. Mr. Bean had one, I think he's a one or two, crashed. They're worth a fortune. They cost a fortune to run. There's videos on YouTube that you'll be able to go and find, and how much it costs, like 600 grand a year just to run the thing with tyres and adjustments and stuff like that. They're worth $16 to $20 million US now to buy one. Amazing car, world's fastest naturally aspirated car. Beautiful car, amazing. Well, that man has come out. He started his own business up. He's left McLaren, started up his own business, Gordan Murray Racing, and his first car has come out. Is the lightest ever naturally aspirated V12. The engine's insane. It'll rev out. It's the highest revving engine on the planet. Naturally aspirated. Oh, gee, I'm having trouble with that word. 12,000 RPM out of a car engine. Just imagine the sound. That would be the sweetest sound. I remember the Formula One days in Adelaide, listening to those suckers, naturally aspirated, insane, the V10s. So this thing is going to sound so sweet. They're only making 100 of them. They've $3 million US a pop. 6-speed manual. That's insane nowadays. They're normally all paddle shift. But 6-speed manual. And it's going to be a 3-seater again. In 2022, they go into production. So you want to get in fast if you've got a spare 3 mil. Buy one of these bad boys. And the back of it, you'll see on the thumbnail, it's insane. Looks like a big turbine fan with an airflow to feed air into the engine. Comes out and exhausts out the back. So pretty darn cool. Good looking car. Not a wild outlandish Lamborghini sort of car, but just a real race car, I guess, if you're into that sort of style. Rivian Electric, getting heaps of footage out there with their utes, with the electric utes. We know they're due out next year. Well, they've partnered with some filmmakers a year ago to do a 1,300-mile trip from the bottom of South America all the way up to LA. It's 13,000 miles, insane, fully electric. Obviously, the biggest issue was charging, so it's going to be a great film to check out and see how they did this all, how they charge the batteries to keep driving. You can see all the maintenance and stuff like that about it, and see how their utes actually perform in real-world circumstances, which is brilliant, I think. It's going to be on September the 18th. Now, unfortunately, Apple TV Plus. So if you don't have that, it's going to be tricky. You may be able to see little bits and pieces on YouTube once it starts leaking or whatever. But if you have got Apple TV Plus, definitely go check that out. I think it's going to, the views of South America up that Pan-Pacific Highway, I think they're going to be insane anyway. So it's definitely going to be a really cool video to watch, or a movie to watch. But I think it also, for the future of electric trucks and automobiles, it's going to be a huge step to just prove the fact that the concept that they can become an everyday device that we can use as humans without destroying the planet as much. We're going to still destroy it to some extent, but not as much as we do with oil. Yeah, very cool. Really excited to see how they go. I think they're going to, especially in the ute market, I think they're definitely the one in front at the moment, and they'll do really well. So check that out, September the 18th, Apple TV Plus. I've got it, so I'm going to definitely be checking it out, and I'll let you know what it looks like. So very, very cool. And then last but not least, if you haven't already, if you're a three-legged fan, you know I've got my beautiful Albert, my best mate. Loving this tripod. Solid, it's going to last me a long, long time. Awesome bits of kit. Also run their LE on my M50 as well. Awesome trick gear. Can't go. Quality is insane. Well, last night they released 2 new tripods. Now, one's called Ray, which is a skateboarder, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on him. And the other one's called Bucky, which 2 pretty cool names. Now, and also as well as that, the Airhead View. Now, the Airhead View is pretty darn cool. Basically, in your head unit of your tripod, there's a clear window or plastic or perspex, and you can see the inside of that ball, which is all stainless steel. You can see it moving around. So I guess it's aesthetics So it's making it look good, but I think it's going to, again, all their tripods look $1,000,000 like bits of art, and this is just another step. Really well rated, the ball head. The tripods are pretty cool. Now, the airhead views rated up to 40 kilos, so you could just buy one of them. They're about 140 pounds, I believe, to just buy the airhead view by itself. Same two colours, the blue or the grey, depending on what tripod you've got you want to whack it on. Now, the Ray is valued, rated up to 30 kilos. It's the smaller one of the version. Folds up to 36 centimeters totally, so that's really tiny. So that's way smaller than this one, but probably only just about that much. So it's stuff all. It'll only weighs 1.27 kilos, so super lightweight. Still all the same build quality as you know from three-legged thing. It's got a max height of 129 centimeters, so not a super tall, but a great little travel tripod if you're just out and about. If you want one just for your camera that you can use, you don't really need work that's high, or you just want just a travel one just to take out with you in case if you're doing freehold, but you just want something that's light. I think it'd be cool. Minimum 10 centimeters, so that's still pretty darn cool. Now the Bucky, which is probably a little very similar to the height as this. It's 189 centimeters, and I think that's about the same as the Albert, or very close. This one's taller than me with the airhead on, so very, very cool. Minimum down to 11 centimeters, again, ridiculous. Folds up to 41 centimeters, so probably similar to this, but a little bit lighter. It's only 1.52 kilos. I'm pretty sure that's heavier than the Albert. Same, now it's in their Legends range, so it's pretty, they're $450 for those two, or pretty much, I think they're both the same, the Bucky and the Ray, 450, around the 450 pounds. So that's about $800-900 Australian. So XY, but super high quality. If you're three-legged, if you own one of these, you'll know what I mean when it's going to be super high quality. You really can't beat it. If you've been looking, you've had a crappy old one, or one you've got now is just about dead. You want to spruce out yourself, well then go check these out as a travel tripod. I think that Ray is going to be pretty sensational. And if you need something that'll go tall, high, long, do a bit of everything, then that Bucky is definitely something I would go check out to do your comparisons about whatever ones you're looking at. Because yeah, quality-wise, I can pretty much guarantee you're going to have no dramas whatsoever. And that new view head looks pretty darn trick. Now they've also upgraded. They've got the top plate for their tripods. That's out as well. It's a lot more rounder, so a little bit more friendly hand-wise. Not as pointy as this. This is the first series of the Albert, but so it's a lot more rounded. So that's out as well. I didn't check the price on that, but that's also out. So pretty darn cool. Some really nice stuff there from Three-Legged Thing. They are available now for pre-order. I think there's 12 days left before they go live. So you can pre-order them if you really want to get one out first and get it out. If they want to send me one to review, happy to get one, check it out, and send it back to them. That probably won't happen. But you never know. Never know, you're like in a big city. And that's about it. First day, done and dusted. I've got to get this done, get some tucker, have a bit of feed and get some sleep. I might even I've got to do some more editing. New video will be up this weekend. I've got the photos pretty close to done. I'm just going to finish off a few. Doing a bit of work with Luminar 4 in there too as well. So a bit to talk about is that down the road. If you haven't checked out Luminar 4, link below. Definitely go check it out. If you've got some photos where you just got blue sky, you get those clear days where it's just not working, definitely a great tool to check out for us landscape guys. It can really help you and save a photo, which is the way I'm looking at it. It can really save your butt. Or if you're looking to make something funky for thumbnails and stuff like that, definitely go check them out. It is a duck's guts bit of software, so definitely one to link up to your Lightroom and use together to get yourself the look you're after, I guess is probably the best way, and that's what art's all about. Rightio, I'll see you all again tomorrow. Have a great night. Hope you're all well and safe, and we'll see you all again soon. Where are you coming that way? That way, I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.